Hey folks, Mike Dawkins from Worldcast Anglers here with your Jackson Hole weekend fly fishing forecast for the weekend of June 19th and 20th. We've got Father's Day weekend coming up this weekend. Big thank you to all the dads, uncles, mentors, and all those guys that got us out fishing, hunting, camping, enjoying the outdoors, and ultimately creating the next conservationists, stewards for our resources, and watchdogs for our rivers, streams, and fisheries. So a big thanks to all the dads out there this weekend. We've seen runoff pretty much subside. We're over the hump. We're still seeing some areas of the Snake and the Jackson Hole area, as well as a couple areas in the Teton Valley area sort of finish up. The clarity on the Teton out there today was definitely fishable. It's still a tad high. I've heard that the Snake clarity has improved during the week. It's been a little up and down with the recent hot weather that we've had. I think these really hot days that we experienced this week has really let everything loose. So you may see some little pulses here and there where some of those northern facing slopes and some of those shaded areas are letting loose of their snowpack with these 90-degree days that we've been having. Tributaries to the South Fork of the Snake, like this one, Pine Creek behind me, it's pretty much done. Pine Creek, as a reminder, as all of the South Fork tributaries as well as all the Teton River tributaries are closed for the month of June. So as good as this looks and as much as I would want to fish it today, it's still closed. Unfortunately, probably by July 1, it's going to be pretty low and it's going to be pretty warm. That is going to be the snapshot of our water situation looking into the summer. But if you can see, runoff has subsided, flows are low, flows are getting clear. We've got some PMDs, caddis. I saw a couple yellow sallies buzzing around as well. So just think of it this way, that we're over the hump of the runoff and we should start to see all of our fisheries open up, if not by this weekend, if not very, very soon. Saturday, it looks hot and dry again. We're getting a little tired of this heat wave, but it looks like it's going to break. Saturday, we've got 85 and 51, mostly sunny. Looks like some type of cold front or weather event is coming through Saturday afternoon with no precipitation, but high winds, and we're going to see the barometer drop. Sunday, it looks like 76 and 46, mostly sunny. So it looks like we're going to get a little reprieve from this heat that everybody has been wanting. It's going to give us a little bit more time here on some of our little creeks and tributaries that we're looking at right now. Jackson Lake's 95% of capacity. Palisades Reservoir is 91%. With runoff curbing off and discharges staying high for consumptive water users, that's where we're going to see our reservoirs end, not at 100% fill rate. Bureau of Rec is saying areas like Blowout Boat Ramp on Palisades Reservoir and some of the areas of Coulter Bay on Jackson Lake probably aren't going to be operational in the month of August due to low reservoir levels. Once again, that fits into our snapshot of it's being hot, dry. We've had a very dry spring and we can use all the moisture that we can get. So if you have a rain dance or anything like that, let's all do them. The Teton and Teton Valley is 710 CFS near Driggs, 1,380 CFS down there on the lower river. The Teton in the valley is definitely fishable. Yellow sallies, caddis, PMDs, probably a drake here and there. Definitely be ready with some dry dropper fishing, you know, your salmon flies, golden stones, chubby Chernobyls, paired with the regular sort of Duracells, jig pheasant tails, and things like that are going to be really good. And I think the streamer fishing is going to be really good as water levels drop. JJ Specials, buggers, clouser minnows, stuff along those lines. The lower river has started fishing really good as well. We've had some good dry dropper fishing reports coming back from there as well. The Henry's Fork, 813 CFS there at the box, 1,630 CFS there on the lower river around Ashton. The Henry's Fork still the place to be if you're looking for dry fly fishing. Salmon flies have finished up. We've got green drakes finished, sort of moving up off the lower river into the ranch, which opened up on the 15th, as well as into the box. So be ready for the drakes, flavs, caddis, PMDs, and things along those lines there on the lower river. It's been a really busy place. So if you can get out on the weekdays, or if you can get out early in the morning or late in the evening, that's going to be advantageous to you. Some of the best drake fishing and PMD fishing I've ever had on the Henry's Fork has been standing on my own 2 feet. I would recommend it as well. The Henry's Fork is an incredible wade fishery and you don't have to have a boat to be out there. So think of it that way. The Box Canyon, it has still been fishing pretty good with dry dropper fishing, with maybe a leftover salmon fly, Henry's Fork Golden Stone, and the traditional beadhead droppers that we like, Perdigons, Duracells, tactical tungsten, pheasant tail jigs. Any of those things have been very productive. The ranch, we're starting to see some of the green drakes, maybe some of the flavs and PMDs sort of coming in there. If it gets cool again, we may see a March Brown and some caddis and some things along those lines. But top to bottom, if you're looking for dry fly fishing, the Henry's Fork is the place to be. The South Fork, over on the other side of Pine Creek Pass, 13,500 CFS there from Palisades Reservoir, 13,900 CFS there on the lower river. We've heard some reports of some drake fishing on the lower South Fork of the Snake, Section 2 and Section 4, which means water temperatures are warming up really nicely, and we should start to see those salmon flies here in the next 5 to 10 days, dependent on what our ambient air temperature does. The upper sections are still predominantly subsurface, nymphing with rubber legs, worms, zebra midges, Perdigons, Duracells, any of those types of things have been really productive there on the upper Henry's Fork, on the upper South Fork, excuse me. But get ready, because our dry fly fishing is coming, and that's what our next dry fly fishery to note that we love so much in its true summer fashion. The Snake in Jackson, 3,010 CFS being discharged from Jackson Lake Dam, 10,500 CFS there on the lower river before the salt and the grays going into Palisades Reservoir. 2 weeks ago, that was sitting around 13,000, 14,000. So we're sort of seeing us get over that hump. The Snake is still dirty. It's still pretty much unfishable. It is getting closer and closer to being fished, probably in the next 3 to 5 days, maybe 5 to 7 days. It is right there. So it could be tomorrow, it could be 3 days from now, but some of those early days on the Snake, right when it's clearing, have personally been some of the best fishing days I've had on the Snake, outside of early spring with the blue wing olives and late with those blue wing olives as well once those flows drop. So watch it. It may even be ready for a test run to go check out and sort of see what's going on, because it is right on the cusp of happening. Yellowstone National Park, it's still fishing really good. I was up there last week from our fishing report. We had great fishing on the Gibbon with drakes, caddis, PMDs. We had some awesome fishing on the Madison with leftover salmon flies and golden stones, dry dropper style. And to be honest, we didn't see that many people. So if you're looking to get off the beaten path, once you get through the traffic of Yellowstone and you get down to the river, pretty much have the place to yourself. So think of that as a fishing option here this weekend as well. Salt and the green, they're coming into play. They're starting to fish well. So you've got a lot of arrows in your fishing quiver here coming up this weekend. Our lakes and reservoirs like Jenny Lake have been fishing really good. Henry's Lake has been fishing really good. Lewis Lake has been fishing really good. So you're probably thinking, Dawkins, what is not fishing good? And I would definitely probably say it is a crapshoot. It is really up to the fishing that you want to do, dry fly fishing, nymphing, streamer fishing, and how many people you want to be around and what you want to do. So definitely be ready for some crowds on the Henry's Fork, but you're going to have some really good dry fly fishing. Be ready for some really good nymphing on the South Fork, probably not as many people. And then some of our walk wade fisheries that are just starting to open up, they could be pretty darn good too. So you've got some really good fishing options. We're getting set up for a great summer here in Jackson, in the Teton Valley area. So thanks for tuning in. The Fly Shop, we're on full summer hours, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We've got everything you need. Stop in, say hey. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend and a safe weekend on the water. Thanks to all the dads out there this weekend for making us the anglers and outdoorsmen that we are today. Have a great weekend.